Good morning, everybody. It's just me today, but I'm one of your hosts of the Daily Grind. Welcome back with me on this Hump Day, Wednesday. Hump Day. It's a great day. It's cold as a witch's, you know what, here where I'm at. It's like 0 degrees. That's why I got this hat on and this hoodie. But enough about me. Today, not going to be a super long or a super crazy show. We're really just going to be talking all about hardship exceptions today. I know that's what everyone loves. I love it so dearly. It's deeply one of my favorite things, not really. But the Grizzlies are banged up. We're absurdly banged up. We lost 3 starters in a week. 2 for up to 6 weeks, 1 for the season. That's not ideal, I would say. And because of that, the Grizzlies are expected to apply for a couple more hardship exceptions. For those of you uninitiated, I guess, for unfamiliar, we've already covered this earlier in the season when we applied, but hardship exceptions, you're granted them if you have 4 players at least who are unavailable due to injury or illness. Each of those 4 players have missed at least 3 consecutive games, and you expect each of those players to remain out for at least 2 weeks. If all those criteria are met, then you get rewarded one of the exceptions. So right now, Memphis, here's where they're at. They've got Steven Adams, John Morant, Brandon Clark, Marcus Smart, already meeting the criteria. Once Desmond Bane sits tomorrow, he'll have met the 3-game criteria, the 3 consecutive game criteria. And then once LaRavia sits Saturday against the Bulls, he will also meet the criteria. So that'll be 6 players that have definitely met the criteria. And that would mean we would qualify for 3 hardship exceptions. 3 hardship exceptions. The math is hard. It's early. Don't judge me. So 3. They're going to qualify for 3 hardship exceptions. Today, I dropped a feature this morning on Love City Media. Today, we're going to examine, we're going to discuss just possible options they could sign with these exceptions. The way these exceptions work, it's not like the other exceptions that let you sign guys and not affect salary cap. It's more of it lets you sign guys and not affect your roster numbers. You have to have a full 15-man roster to be able to qualify for these. It's another criteria. And you are also able to sign dudes to multiple 10-day contracts. If they meet the criteria, you can go 10-day, 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 which is what we did earlier this season with the first guy we're going to talk about, Jalen Noel. Jalen Noel, there were a lot of Memphis Grizzlies guys that were big fans of his. He came in, he was the first with Shaquille Harrison, one of the first 2 guys we used these hardship exceptions on. And he hooped. He hooped with the Grizzlies. He was only in, I think, nine games, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And his averages were pedestrian, I guess. 5.7 points, 1.6 boards, 1.8 assists. That's fine. But in those 9 games, man, he went off. He had a couple games where, he was exactly kind of the plug you need off the bench, like a Jordan Clarkson type, a guy that can come in and just give you offense, which we desperately need. We've got the production of Ja, we got the production of Smart, we got the production of Bane. That now we got to make that up somehow. And Jalen Noel has shown that he's capable of that. He showed it with the Grizzlies. He showed that in his past. Like the game that immediately comes to mind for me is his 19-point game. I don't remember who it was against, but he had 19 points, 4 boards, an assist, a steal, and that was on 57.1, 33.3, and 100% shooting splits. Like, it's pretty damn good. Especially for a guy that, just kind of walked off the street, signed a 10-day contract. And if you look even further, like the dude's, the advanced metrics kind of point in his direction. I know that advanced metrics aren't everybody's thing. I like math sometimes, so I'm going to talk about him a little bit. But per 100 possessions, his numbers are 15.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 4.9 assists. It's pretty good. And when you're looking at the increased workload that whoever we sign with these exceptions, like whoever we sign, they're going to have to play a lot, and they're going to probably play more than they're used to. I would imagine. I could be wrong, but these guys are going to have to step up. Step up as much as they can. With this team, who knows where this team is going right now, with the injuries. And we talked yesterday. We want to test drive these guys. We want to see what some of these young guys got, but we got to complement them with some actual NBA players. Jalen Noel is one of those. And he actually, the 9 games, he only played 150 minutes with the Grizzlies. And in that time, man, his point differential was in the 85th percentile of the league. It was +8. It was points per possession was in the 89th percentile. He doesn't, that's pretty good. And his offensive rebound percentage was in the 79th percentile. His effective field goal percentage on defense was in the 95th percentile. Like, the dude, this isn't your run of your mill NBA guy. This is a guy who is capable of some stuff. He's on the Stockton Kings right now, so we'd be able to sign him with one of these exceptions. I just don't know. It's going to depend on the direction Memphis wants to go. I'm going to touch on their other areas of need with these next 2 players. Right here, my idea with Jalen Noel is that they got to replace some offensive production, and he's familiar with the team. He's familiar with the system. He did good last time. He seemed like he was a good Grizzly fit. I would like to see him come back. Imagining him a GG off that bench unit, that's that gives you some pretty solid production off the bench that guys got to worry about. Like I said, this is more just a familiar option. The other 2 options that I've thought of that I think that probably would help this team, they're going to focus on more areas of need currently that we have. Just going to take a quick break. Like I said, probably not going to be a super long show since I'm flying solo and we're just kind of breaking down. There's nothing going on. Thank God no one got injured. Normally that's what we talk about when we ask for something to happen. So we're just going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about these other 2 guys that I think would fit good on this team and that we could probably get with these hardship exceptions. But yeah, right after this break, we will touch on that. When I say that, I'm looking for my commercial break. Here we go.
Because I think everyone is saying that Ja's the best player we ever had.
Correct.
Are we ready to put Bane? Where are we putting Bane at?
So I think that he is a top 3 offensive player ever in the franchise.
Right. Easy.
And the reason I give him top 3 is because Zebo was a bad dude. Offensively, like everything. He was one of my favorites.
All right. Coming back from that one a little early. Look, we're just going to kind of go through this. Second guy. I want to talk about this guy because I want to make sure I have time. And this dude has not been in the league for, when was the last time he was in the league? 2 years? 21, 22 season. I'm talking about Alfred Payton. This was Elfrid Payton, excuse me, Elf. This was a high lottery pick, y'all. I guess this is a drafted top 10. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Elfrid, if anybody remembers him at all, but here's my way of thinking. We need a point guard, plain and simple. I know we just signed Scottie Pippen Jr. to one of our 2-way contracts. A lot of people were hoping we'd get a big with that spot. We went with the guard. So for those keeping track at home, that's 2 healthy, true point guards that Memphis has on their team. 2. Of those 2, both guys are on 2-way contracts. That's, I don't consider that ideal. I mean, I don't know. That's not great to me. And then we've already seen guys like Jacob Gilliard is already getting exploited because of his size. The dude, he's the perfect example of if the guy was just taller, he would be a stud in this league. He's already, man, his shot's already beautiful. But a 5'7", 5'9" guy isn't going to cut in this league. So I'm looking Alfred Payton. He was last in the league 2 years ago. His playmaking, for me, we need someone with playmaking ability. We need someone who can step onto the court, who can set dudes up, who can run an offense, who's not just a developmental guy, and this guy, he's a vet. I mean, as much of a vet you can be for still being just 29 years old, but he's been in the league since 2014. That was the year he got drafted. And since playing in Phoenix, he played a season in the Puerto Rican League, and then he came back and he's playing with Indiana's G League affiliate now, the Mad Ants, which is timeout. That's a sick name for a team, the Mad Ants. Good job, Indiana. But let me just, so since he's been in the league, here's his assist. His assist percentage has only been below 58% in the league's 58 percentile one season. He's typically above 70%. We need somebody that can move the ball around. We need Jacob Gilliard's a good example. The dude is like leading the G League with 9 assists per game. We need someone who can assist these other guys, who can help these guys find their shots. And as is, man, like he's a career 10.1 point, 4.4 boards, 5.7 assists, 1.2 steal. Not shabby, 17 career triple doubles, pretty good. But since he's come back, like since he's been in the G League playing with the Indiana's affiliate, 9 points, nothing crazy, 3.5 rebounds, 11.5 assists, 11.5 assists. That's awesome. Flat out, like that's what this team needs, because right now you're looking at Scottie Pippen Jr. and you're looking at Jacob Gilliard as your 2 point guards. We played Luke some, Zaire some, like we need some dudes who can actually play the point guard spot and play it consistently well, out there. And like you can find these guys in the draft, like, but that's not where we're at. We're trying to find anybody who's available. And there's not a ton of dudes with NBA experience that also fit an area of need that this team needs, in my opinion. I get it that it's the G League, it's small minutes, it's brief minutes, but like if you're looking for someone who has shown that he's capable of, playing with actual NBA teams. I mean, Elfrid Payton has playoff experience, if you remember. It's not a lot, but he's got some. And if you're looking at his career, he's really just looking at one-off year. If we can get him even as like sign him to one of these hardship exceptions to a 10-day and just see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, you had 10 days to try it out. But if something clicks, man, and if he's able to like get this offense moving a little bit, share some of those 11.5 assists, like he might be, there's a chance that there's a small career resurgence here. I don't want to say that, but like if you need to have a career resurgence, why not come to Memphis and do it right now? You're going to get the opportunity to drive the car because out of necessity, we need you to. I don't know. A lot of guys may not even remember Elfrid Payton, but you got to remember with these hardship exceptions who you all are signing. You're not going to be signing stars. You're not going to be signing names. You're looking for dudes who aren't signed. You're looking for guys like Bismack Biyombo that were able to sign off the street. Guys that aren't in the league anymore. The guys that aren't in the league right now. That's who we're going to be looking at with these exceptions. In the G League, those kinds of guys. That being said, we're going to just take one more break. Like I said, I'm taking a kind of a shorter show today. Just me. I know nobody wants to hear from just me, so going to keep it a little short. I'm going to take another break. We'll actually take a full break this time. And when we're done, we will be right back.
Not just the level of individual talent that he plays, but it's also the level of his mind. We haven't gotten cross-court open shot this year. Right. We haven't seen that pass a lot. Number one, you got to respect him going to the basket. There's a roller. I got to watch the roller. He has the mind to be able to say, I see all of that, and now I see this guy over here. I'm going to get him this open shot. How shifty he is to always be going forward. It's usually side to side. Yeah. His dribble moves are side to side, but going forward. Right. Which is very hard to defend. I just want to get you, as many times can I get you to do this? But for him, it's not here. It is here, which is are his moves to get down the floor. It's awkward for a defender to try to catch a cadence. You dribble. So now what I do is when you go put that ball down, I'm going for it. But with him, it's hard for my cadence. But what's my cadence for you? I don't know what it is.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Yeah, because Zach Randolph went into the Blazers organization that had some characters. Underline the word characters, okay? He's coming from Michigan State. He's from Marion, Indiana. And then you go to Portland, Oregon, which it's an entirely different culture, entirely different demographic. He had people around him who were guys from Marion. Hey, you owe us. Anthony, one of the key memories of my time here in Memphis off the court, I did a Read to Achieve event with Zach Randolph. And the kid who read the most books, his prize was to get to interview Zach Randolph. And the young man, first question to Zach is, what's the hardest thing for a black athlete to learn? And Zach did not give him any, like BS fluff answer. He said, a lot of times the people who say they're your friends, they're not your friends. And you have to pick the people around you very, very wisely.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Now comes the time for a shameless self-promotion. I skipped it last time because I skipped the commercial last time because technical difficulties. But yeah, that was the Anthony Sane Show. It's a great show. You can check that out. It's Wednesdays and Fridays at noon. You actually have one coming today after this later on in the morning, so check that out. We also have the Grizz 901 live post-game show that's after every single home game. Those dudes are there. Sometimes I'm there, sometimes Sane there, sometimes Mark there. The whole crew gets cycling on there. It's a good show. And you get access to all this and more just by becoming a Bluff City Media Insider. $5 a month, super easy. Just forget about it. It's like $5 cheeseburgers, pretty cheap. And if you don't have that, just go to the YouTube button and follow us or subscribe to us there. That is free, capital F free. And you get all the shows, you get everything. It's just got a lot of content, got a lot of Hustle content, Tigers content, Grizzlies content. If you need Memphis content, you're in the right spot, y'all. All right, but back to the show. So the last guy I'm going to talk about, and this is a guy that's been really popular we talked about him, I believe it was last week when we were discussing possible people that they could replace, that they could sign this two-way contract. The empty one vacated by Vince Williams. I'm talking about Trey Jameson. This is a big SOB. If you're aware, I'm sure you are, the center is an area of need for this team. I mean, who's our front court right now? We've got Jaron, we've got Santi, we've got X. We don't have some places you look, Santi's listed as 7 foot. I think he's more like 6'11". We got one true 7-footer. We need big bully dudes. That is an area of need for this team. And you ain't gonna find anybody Trey Jameson is that dude, man. Right now he plays for the Birmingham Squadron, which is the New Orleans Pelicans affiliate in the G League. Dude is he's a beast, man. He's averaging, what's he at? 14.8 points and 12 rebounds in 30 minutes. Dude's a double machine. He's shooting the ball 67.6% from the field, 81% from the line. Each of those things, it's like checking a box that we need. All these are areas of need. Making his shots, rebounding, going in there. He can score. That is what we need. We need that down in the paint because we have no paint scoring essentially with Jai out. We need bodies in there. We need big bodies in there. And you're not going to find anybody capital B bully Trey Jameson is what you're going to need. If we can still sign him to a 10-day, just because we didn't use the two-way on him, it doesn't mean that we can't still sign him. I don't want people to worry about that. Maybe the team just thought that using that two-way spot on a guard was smarter. Maybe they think that they can get Trey on a 10-day. I don't know. He fits so well with this team age-wise, fit-wise. It's a little scary. I don't know why they wouldn't at least go and try to get him. I don't know. I don't run the team, so I'm not in. I'm sure there's shit that they're talking about that I don't know. But if this is a guy that they could just see what they got, and then sign him to a real contract if it pans out, I don't know why they wouldn't. The dude's he's a double monster down in the G League. He's our guy. Mike was in South Haven watching him play. I guess it was last week over the weekend. the dude's a hooper, and the dude would go a long way to helping this team out in the interim. Who knows if we sign any of these guys, and who knows if they actually would pan out and turn into another contract. Like Jalen Noel was a good example of this, where we were able to keep signing like 2 times. I guess I said keep 3 times, but you get what I'm saying. I don't know what they're going to do. And I don't know what their way of thinking is right now either, because is it a lost season? Maybe. Do you want to see what you have with these guys, with G.G. Jackson, with Vince Williams, with Zaire, with Santi? Let these guys play. These are the 3 guys that I would add to the mix. These are the 3 guys that I think could help this team out. These are the 3 guys that I think might fit just in terms of timeline too. You don't want to just take a shot in the dark and not think of the future. You got to be thinking 2 steps ahead of the game. And each of these guys, I think, fits with this team with that in mind. I'm also a little crazy, so who knows? That's going to be it today, y'all. Like I said, pretty short show. It's middle of the week. It's cold. Not a lot happening. And it's me. I know that I know nobody really wants to hear me talk for that long, so I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. Still got you out of here under 30 minutes. Thank you all for bearing with me. I'll have Mark back tomorrow, and we're going to have a special guest tomorrow too. So I'm teasing that. It won't just be 2 of us. We're going to have a 3 for the 3 amigos. We're going to have a 3 amigos style thing tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Also got a game tomorrow. We got Grizzlies play the Timberwolves, so we're going to break that down a little bit. But yeah, y'all, thanks for joining me on the Daily Grind. Thanks for sticking through those technical difficulties, and I will see you all tomorrow bright and early. Thanks, y'all. Enjoy your day.